Can we get every pop in chimps for round 6 to 140 with just the Perma Charge? After this video, unless we edit the amount of money that we have at the beginning of the game so that you can fit other towers in, like let's say a Dartling Gunner or anything along those lines where you would have to have more money to start off with to place down a expensive starting tower, then I think this is going to be my last video covering all pops to 140 with a single tower. Can we get through round 8 without requiring a single upgrade to our boomerang? And the answer is debatable. Yeah, some targeting changes here and there are required. Set to strong at first and then the round should be a breeze from there. Also, we put down our favorite hero, which is Geraldo, because we need Geraldo for this. Can we get through this round, however, without a single upgrade? Now, someone's asked me to try and do a legitimate Perma Charge primary expertise run. It's just like, it's finding the microing and the arm microing in order to actually get through round 27, which has so many balloons to try and pop, both in numbers and in RBE, because with that particular combo you have to go to 022 to get to like round 27, but you actually have to put down a radar scanner so that then your boomerang can pop the camo green on that round. But the other alternative is to play on Scrapyard, which is not as exciting and it has a rather poor layout when it comes to 2TCs, although it still is possible with a load of combinations. But I just don't like that map when it comes to 2TCs. It is an abomination. We're going to need that bionic boomerang to increase our attack speed even further, and then when round 40 comes along we'll have enough firepower to take down the first MOAB. Let's see, regrow yellows can sometimes be very daunting, which was a bit tricky when it came to our Inferno ring around 140 all pops chimps, which has done staggeringly well when it comes to performance. I did not expect that video to do so well. In the first day it's gone over 5,000 views and I'm like, that's pretty cool. Like, I don't usually get a video like that and I'm so amazed that for some odd reason I managed to get as many views as were like 2/3 of my subscriber base, so I'm pretty happy with that. Normally for round 24 you just put a stack of old nails at the end, but since this is an all pops challenge we're going to need to plop on a invisibility potion for our beloved boomerang monkey here. Can you believe that a monkey inspired from Australia with the boomerangs can do round 6 to 140 chimps without needing anything to well, help pop it? Help buff it, yes, but help pop the balloons? No. One village, there'll soon be 3 villages down here, but for the time being, only the little one. Unlike the Inferno Ring run, we are going to lack Pierce with this particular cross path with the boomerang itself. Like, for more Pierce you'll go top path, but obviously for round 28 and 30, we need that lead popping potential, for goodness sakes. There goes round 35. We're going to need a invisibility potion for this round, but do we have enough Pierce to get through this round? Like, these pinks can sometimes be very menacing when it comes to their clumped upness, as in like how formed together that they are. Like, sometimes it can create a scenario where you can't actually damage them because you just run out of Pierce. I think it's called a Pierce cap. So we go turbo? No, we're going to go with jungle drums and primary training before we go with turbo charge. We do not require that ability just yet if we can increase our range, projectile speed, but most importantly, Pierce. But the other two things are very valued as well. I'm not going to say no to more projectile speed, but more importantly, more range. There goes round 39. People don't realize how important Pierce is. Like, you could have a huge amount of damage, but if you can only hit one balloon at a time and you attack very slowly, then that's not really reliable tower for, let's say, round 63. Primary mentoring for even more range. We're going to get turbo charge next, and I believe after that we'll get our radar scanner up and running, but it just depends on how much money I acquire throughout these next few rounds. Shall I hold it off? Or should I just go for it? Or we could think of a way to try and go through this round. Storm first? Nah, that seems like a very bad choice, to be honest. But maybe that's good. You know, pop the ceramics early on. And yeah, that did the trick, actually. Brilliant. Yeah, let's just go with radar scanner first and then turbocharge. I think it only works with the bottom cross path of turbocharge, but if you initiate the ability, the Jerry's Fire actually fires out red hot rains rather than fire, which is very fascinating to see. I'm not really sure if it is unique to just red hot rains or if there are other towers which can have like a similar like projectile, not projectile type, but projectile that is summoned out of the Jerry's Fire itself. So let's say if we activate Jerry's Fire right now, it then throws out boomerangs instead rather than fire, which is fascinating. Next up will be everyone's favorite engineer, XXXL. Just kidding, we're going to go with an overclock next. I don't even have that particular cross path enabled. Thank you very much. Now, can we get through round 49? That is going to be a yes. Yeah, Jerry's Fire. Oh no, these regrows. Nope, regrows just fine. Don't need to worry about regrows. Although I do need to worry about these leads if they come around. It should be annoying. Yeah, I'm glad I held off. Otherwise, the foam might have popped the leads there. And that would not be at all good, since this needs to stay at 0. Overclock acquired, which makes the spin an even more fasty, shooty individual monkey. Tower. We'll go with tower. Overclock and turbocharge. Both together. Those two MOABs just did not stand a chance. The only downside to turbocharge and also perma charge is that they do last for an incredibly short amount of time, so you got to really make each usage count. Also, that's why we got primary mentoring for the reduced ability cooldown for all primary towers which are within its range, which includes the turbocharge itself. Just look at that. There's just no way in which these balloons will get past my boomerangs. These balloons in their presence, they really like to take all our jobs away. They think they can just come into these swamps and think that they can just take all of the jobs in which the monkeys will be able to do so. I say to that, we prop them using Aussie weaponry. There goes round 59. Hopefully there's not too many regrows on that round, for goodness sakes. Now then, round 60, what have we got here? A BFB, which is now disintegrated. Unlike Farina Fire, round 63 for the turbocharge is going to be very interesting, because we're not going to be able to, not going to be able to try and pop all of these ceramics, for goodness sakes, because honestly, they're pretty beefy when it comes to their numbers. Their numbers game is just too thick for us. Thick with 2 C's, that is. Round 62 is a good one. Do you know why I'm not using the Alchemist to buff the boomerang here? It's because the Alchemist would then still pops, which is not good whatsoever. So let us time this quite carefully. So we're going to use this when the second lot of ceramics kind of enters the fray here. There we go, which means we wipe out 2 ceramic waves in one going, which means the last lot will be slowed down by a dob of amazing old glue by Geraldo. And hopefully that will be round at some point, but we've still got a lot of these to try and go through. Oh my gosh. So yeah, let's put the dob of glue down slightly later in the round. There goes the first 2. Okay, so now let's put it down so that it's, let's say, down here somewheres, just to make them so that they have the glue slightly longer rather than, you know, at the very beginning and then they run out of their glue cycle. Do we? No, we don't need to anymore. That's exactly 20,000. I could not mathematically do that for you, even if I wanted to. So take that up to chance. Hashtag 20,000. Actually, don't put hashtag in because YouTube thinks sometimes you're a bit of a bot if you put hashtag in for some odd reason in a comment. So just type 20,000. Either in numbers or in words, I'll let you decide. Just don't write 20,000 ones, though. That's my only bit of advice. Just don't write the number 1 20,000 times. Oh, crikey. Down to greens? Okay, if we just use our ability, that would be much better, but I just didn't want to, okay? Sometimes you just gotta do it without an ability, because sometimes you get too complacent and are completely anchored by the reliance of an ability usage. Our next order of business is the Perma Charge, but we are still far from over when it comes to purchases. We have the Ultra Boost to get after that. And then the MIB, then called MOABs and Homeland Defense. It's the good round. Also, this round doesn't have any MOABs on it, which is fascinating, but it's just round 69. Nice. Also, let's get this while that is under the influence of 3 discount villages. Also, let's just take the advantage of the fact that there's no MOABs on this round. Also, beginning of round 70, no MOABs. Rainbows? Ceramics? Oh yeah, then there's MOABs after that, for goodness sakes. But their numbers are very good when it comes to building finance. But you don't get financing chips because you just get money from pops. And end of round bonus. So let's use turbocharge when we're about to overwhelm us. I think that's the best course of action. And there goes round 70. Yeah, this is definitely a much more stress-free time than the Inferno Ring. Round 140 video. Because I'm not so reliant on Geraldo items. It's been Invisibility Potion along with 1 usage of the glue for round 63. But that's been about it so far. There will be more, but not right now. Things to do in a All Pops Chimps round 6 to 140 video featuring the Perma Charge, sorry, I say Permarine there. And now we are fusing towers together rather than just creating paragons. So anyways, what do you do in these scenarios? Number 1, you don't do these scenarios unless you have to. Although for me, it's because I want to, and I feel like it is my my obligation in a way. It's the least I can do for everyone who has supported me throughout the past year or so, since the channel's debuted. Whenever you have joined the channel, whether it's yesterday, today, or some time ago, I'm really grateful for your support. There goes the turbocharge at work, and that would be very ideal to have as a last balloon. Just be slowed down to a crawl so that you can get your abilities back. That is a strategy in a way in some cases. Just leave the last balloon alone and just let it be slow. Now I do want to use turbocharge for this round, but I don't want to use it too quickly so that we pop too many balloons all at once. So let's just leave these last two or 3. I seem to forget how many BFBs are actually in that horde there, whether it's 2 of them or 3 of them. It's definitely 1 then 2, but is it 3 at the very end there on this round? Round 70. We're going to need to rethink about this. Let's use it now, then go to strong, and then... Oh, that's just going through them a bit too quickly. I don't want to have to use a rejuve potion just to be able to get our turbocharge ability back around 76, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Just need enough damage so that we can get through the MOAB. Can we time this, ideally? Or are they spaced out enough so that we can actually do this? I think they are spaced out enough, which is brilliant. Thank you, MOAB Glue, for spacing out your dispersions there of that. Okay, turbocharge. We need Jerry's Fire for this. We need Jerry's Fire for this. As I said, we need Jerry's Fire for this. As I just prophesized, we needed Jerry's Fire for round 76. Can we get Perma Charge in this round? We'll see how much money we can get from these. Yes, we can get Perma Charge, which is excellent. Although it's still under Turbocharge rather than Perma Charge. But we have enough firepower now, thanks to upgrading the Turbocharge into a Perma Charge to get through these. I would say probably in the 90s is where we're probably going to struggle next. But now, it is time for the Ultra Boost to be the next thing to purchase. Regrow rainbows. Meet my robotic boomerang throwing arm, which for some odd reason I can grab. With it again, my hand is metal, so I can grab the fire of these boomerangs without singeing myself to pieces. But then again, it depends on how hot said boomerangs are. Apparently they're red hot rings. If they were blue hot rings, then I would question the material in which that arm is made out of, because blue is the hottest color there is. Because it goes red, orange, yellow, white, then it goes to white, blue, then blue when it comes to temperature from lowest to highest temperature. This is pretty much what it's going to look like for the next 10 or so rounds, so I'll meet you when we're at DDT territory. No, wait, we're going to look at the ZOMGs just to see how destructive we are against them. Logic dictates that we should go to call to arms so we can get that 50% attack speed and pierce, but I'm thinking of those times 10 ultra boost stacks. Getting that first means more to me than getting an ability that temporarily increases our pop means. I'd rather get something that does both temporary and permanent pop means when it comes to the increase of them. I know it seems silly, but right, we can still see the boomerangs. Left, oh, we can still see them. We've got enough pierce with our upgrades here. Although when they are downgraded, sometimes the boomerangs do not come back around because of a pierce cap of the Perma Charge here. Yeah, I think out of the 3 like different tiers that you can go through, the middle one is the least amount of pierce but the most amount of attack speed. The top path definitely caters more for ceramics, but it has a huge amount of pierce. The bottom path is mainly for MOAB damage and knocking back MOABs. DDTs, no problem. We have radar scanner up and running so that we can see those pesky camo balloons. But again, if we didn't have this up and running, then obviously we would be here still. I don't want to rely on... Actually, invisibility potion is better now. We'll use that in the last 15 rounds or so, just to see the benefit of having even more range. When the range you have is not enough, then use even more range. I know it's always boring to see Geraldo on these challenges, but his invisibility potion is just so vital for us to get through these rounds when it comes to an all-pop scenario. If you can grant a tower in which it would otherwise be impossible to have camo detection, then he is invaluable. Alternatively, we could put down a submersion support and ensure it doesn't get damaged, but I would rather have it so that later on I could do a bit of bonus damage against camo balloons with the best of the invisibility potion upgrades added onto our Perma Charge here. But still, we are lacking pierce, which is hopefully something I can compensate by having even more attack speed. We are 10k away from Ultra Boost. We are on round 95, and you know what that means? It's DDT time. Use the overclock there. We do not require either the Perma Charge ability or the added Ultra Boost in order for us to get through the round. And we got through round 95 without a single bit of hiccup. And it's also boring to see these all-pop challenges on the same map, but it has the best layout for this particular challenge, and also, more importantly, it has the most amount of RBS of any official map in the entire game. Obviously, there are custom map scenarios which are like stupendously long, where you can make something like a base start to get all pops. I just realized now, sorry, we've got the money now for Ultra Boost. So lovely! Let us start applying those stacks. When we can get those stacks on board, we'll have even more of the same thing. Attack speed bonuses. Round 98 is going swimmingly well. Absolutely no issues to report here whatsoever. We don't even need to use the Perma Charge ability. That's just how powerful the Perma Charge is with the current buffs that we have on it at this given point in time. Can we get a sip? No, we can't get a sip one. We can now, actually. A sip Ultra Boost stack. And we don't even need the Perma Charge ability for the Fortified DDTs. Although, for some other reason, I feel like we're going to need the ability for this round. Not pointing any fingers, but you have a lot of RBE there, bad. You are very, very bad. A load of candy right there. And you go down to the rest of your layers, and there goes the first bad of the video. Normally in chimps you only ever have one bad, but we're gonna have 6 of them in total. One of them being fortified, which is so fun. 10 times ultra boost, and now we're gonna go towards the homeland defense for that sweet attack pierce bonus and even more attack speed bonus. Yeah, we are really suffering when it comes to pierce. We can't even see our boomerangs at time to time just because they're all being used up. And there's even more to try compensate for that. Now that we are at times 10, we need to space out our ultra boost usages so that we don't use all 3 of them too soon. Otherwise, we will run out of that overclock aspect. And I don't fancy restarting the charge challenge so that we can get a second engineer down so it can just have overclock. Although we do need the Perma Charge. Oh my gosh, look at all this pierce we need. Maybe we should have gone quarter arms earlier. Yeah, perhaps we needed it earlier. Use Perma Charge earlier. And see how the round progresses. Get that, and then we're going to get Geraldo and get the Jerry's hot range, hot sauce onto the... Imagine if I used it on the wrong tower there. That would be bloody embarrassing. Okay, that extra 50% pierce is bloody helpful on a tower like this. Like, obviously, I've already said it, like top half grants more pierce, but... we need the damage and the minister populated early on. Too many bloody ceramics to deal with. No, thank you. ZOMGs, use both let's use both quarter arms and Perma Charge and just see how many we can throw at any given point in time. Which was a tremendous amount. Yes, each boomerang in and of itself is not that strong. But it doesn't matter when you can throw thousands of them every single... or actually do thousands of damage every single second. From the amount that you do throw out. We're 25k away, 26k away from the homeland defense. Let's just finish up this round by using both quarter arms and Perma Charge. Or that's what I thought was going to happen. I guess my predictions can be wrong at times. After everything that I purchased, I will not be able to financially recover from the purchases that I have made. Until the next time. Actually, it's really sad to hear about that individual that was such a big part in the creation of Dragon Ball Z. I've forgotten his name now, but he was truly an icon throughout art, throughout anime, throughout manga, throughout so many different media forms. This one individual has captivated the mind of countless millions. We used our ultra boost too quickly in this round. Let's use the other means of attack speed boost to get us through the round. Yeah, that's what I said. Don't use your ultra boost too quickly, otherwise you're going to end up in a scenario where you can't use it anymore. DDT's gone down. Yeah, it's Akira Toriyama. He was just like, what's that, age 68? That's not old at all. So rest in peace to all of his, him, but along with deepest condolences to his friends and family. We have homeland defense now. There's probably people that wonder why I stumble over my words a lot. And it's not really any reason other than the fact that I have physical and verbal dyspraxia. But sometimes I do have something in which I want to say, but it's like a circuit board that constantly short circuits anytime I want it to actually do something in a cohesive manner. So I sometimes need to take a long time in order to think about what I need to say next, but that may not always come out how I want it to come out. But then there are people who are confused as to why I talk this way, and I don't choose to stumble over words or anything like that. That is just how I am. I've always been this way since as far as I can remember, since I was born even. So it's something that I've lived with all of my life, and even though the awareness of autism and dyspraxia or any other kind of learning difficulty has improved over the years, there's still some people who are completely I wouldn't say oblivious or not wanting to know, but sort of not really in the know, or kind of like how these things affect people in a way. So it's not for the fact that that person is incapable of speech or incapable of doing anything. It's just the fact that sometimes it takes extra steps in order to get to the same result. So there are times, however, okay, I should use a rejuve potion here, for instance, because we need to succumb, especially the second bad. Otherwise, these two towers will be able to damage the second bad for some odd reason because of the range bug in this game. Okay, we're going to pop that first one, but we desperately need to pop the second one as... Oh no, you're getting too close. You're getting too close to my likings. Please don't. I didn't want to use those two, but we really needed to. Okay, now let's go back to first. I was so scared that bad would go up there, then those two can start attacking it. It's only ever the second bad in which causes that bug to happen when it comes to the 3 bads around 119. It's so annoying, but it is a thing. And I don't think Ninja Kiwi will ever fix that bug. Grow blocker, radar scanner, MIB on our third monkey village. This is our second, this is our first. I'll go in order of the order in which I place them down. No other order suits me quite as much as that. Again, I don't even know what I'm saying sometimes. The sheer majority of people who watch this video get that we're all different, and we all have our own different difficulties and curves in life which may otherwise stop us or hinder us from being able to do something. Like for me personally, I've always wanted to have the idea of being able to be a photographer, but I can't for the life of me hold a camera still. Like anytime I try and take a photo, the photo itself is just blurry because I hold it too tightly and my hands vibrate or they shake about. But if I hold it too loosely, then if I try and press the button in order to take a photo, the camera moves. So I don't have any physical way of being able to circumvent that. Oh yeah, here's call to arms, and we really need to rely on Ultra Boost, which is why we're not Ultra Boosting our glue gunner here in order to get that up to a higher fire rate. But maybe unlike Inferno Ring, we're not going to be as reliant on it when it comes to being able to stick to... Mainly DDTs, actually. They're the ones which I'm worried about. Okay, we did run out of Ultra Boost there, which is not ideal. Gosh, everything together. So much damage. Our last investment of the day, aside some Jerry items at the very end of this scenario. A glue gunner. And it's going to be a glue storm. And this time we can afford Glue Storm, unlike with the Inferno Ring video where we're just short of being able to afford it because we needed the rejuve potions around 140. But this time we can afford both sets of rejuve potions and Glue Storm for this scenario, which will make sticking to MOAB class balloons for the extra bit of damage a bit easier. Every little helps, as a certain business would say. DDTs. You are so expected. And let's use both homeland defense and Perma Charge. Just 126 DDTs easy with this setup going on. Nope, no chance for Fortified DDTs. Just get on out of here. Get on out of here with your presence. You are not welcome here. 0, 0, you best stay at 0, you two. Let's give this thing even more range now. That's why I love this spot, because it's the most in the middle of the map placement that you could possibly get, so you have as much coverage as possible. We have a little bit of bonus damage now against camo blues, which is ideal against these DDTs. But we have so much damage anyway from our stupidly fast fire rate, but does that even matter? Of course it does. 8 rounds to go until the big 140. Have you ever seen the number 140 plastered somewheres and then you get instantaneous flashbacks to round 140 and Bloons Tower Defense 6? I saw a post on Reddit where somebody got like nightmares because they're in a biology or in a chemistry lesson, and if they just saw the words DDT just put up on the whiteboard and they were just given such flashbacks to DDTs. Like I can see why this has got so many likes. It's just like so funny. An original post. Our final major upgrade. Glue Storm! We will have some little upgrades here and there, but for the most part, we are there when it comes to, like, tower upgrades and all that jazz. You know what? Just because I've enabled it, we're going to put those down. For no reason other than because I'm giving this Ultra Boost a cross path for once. Now this round we are going to be Pierce Caps because of how clumped up the balloons are. Like, every single MOAB appears at the same time as each other. Every single BFB appears at the same time as each other. And the same with ZOMGs. And it's like 20 of them or so of each one that spawns out. So you have a gigantic amount of Pierce to try and compensate for. And let's just use Homeland Defense to help us out through the round. There's still so many of them to try and pop. Yeah, we need to really think about this round because I do want Homeland Defense for all of the DDTs around 138. Round 138 is so much fun, especially if you're doing like a 4TC. Because you got all of that Pierce to try and circumvent. Now, I don't know how many ZOMGs are left. I think there's just one. And we got through that round. Lovely. Okay, DDTs. This is where it's really, really interesting. I'm going to put one of yous back on because I can. Okay, yeah. This is why we need Homeland Defense for this round. And can we get through the rest of this round without any more abilities? The answer to that question is let's just use Glue Storm. Actually, it's going to be a no. Nope. Too much Pierce to try and compensate for. That's what she said. Timing is key after all, and we got through that round much better. So use your Homeland Defense a bit later on. Don't be shy about it. So call to arms because we can use call to arms on this round, but we don't really need the Homeland Defense aspect. Can we get through this without needing to use a another Ultra Boost at any given point in time? I hope not. Just because I have a fresh one ready for round 140. But this is looking very dangerous. Actually, call to arms will finish a job. It will finish a job. We will not need to worry. Call to arms is here to save the day. And those glued balloons are fantastic because it means we don't have to worry about this next round at all. Okay. Let's use that and then use that. Those, well, all of them, sorry. And then once we get both, well, Perma Charge, Homeland Defense back up and running, we will use them again. There is no such thing as enough usage of these abilities. And for some odd reason my voice is going, which is not good. We need to finish this up before my voice completely dissipates. Yeah, unlike the Infernal Ring, we do have a range limit to this, so we need to be a bit careful about usages going here on out, but I think we should be able to do this. Should being the key word here. So let's use Call to Arms. This is going down quite well. Yeah, not worried about the other bad at any given point in time, but we definitely do need to be more concerned about these fortified, these fortified things. Oh my god, we've run out of Ultra Boost already. That's not good whatsoever. Yeah, that is really not good. But can we get through the rest of this round knowing what we've got left will be needed? We can rely on it. I feel like we need to restart this round. These ZOMGs could be too tanky for us. Although we do have Homeland Defense, so that will be a good thing. That will be a good thing. That's a good thing, right? Yes, and we don't even have the Gyros fire up and running. I swear, if that was a different number than that, I would have broken something. Not really, though, but I would be broken mentally. So that is it, folks. All pops round 140 chimps with just the Perma Charge doing the damage. And that, my friends, is a lot of damage. And that is a high round. So what these scenarios show is what certain towers can do when you give them the correct support. And when you can enable balloons to receive bonus damage. from all forms of damage. So that's brilliant. So yeah, always put your Geraldo and your Ultra Boost Engineer behind this log gear so that it doesn't do any damage, but be mindful of round 119, because if the second bad gets up to this point, then for some odd reason Geraldo and the Ultra Boost can just start attacking it. Just trust me, I've learned that from personal experience, okay? So thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully this hasn't been as long as the Infernal Ring one. But yeah, share that and enjoy the pain of it all. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know of other kind of videos you'd like to see me do in the future. I doubt I'm going to be doing any more all pops around 140 guys, because I don't think from the current arsenal of balloons that we have, sorry, for current arsenal towers that we have, that no other one is really capable of doing it. Like the other two cross path of tack shooters, they're kind of an alchemist reliant thing. Like you can't get MIB up and running like for around 28. That's just like not possible. And you have to rely on other towers, like say an alchemist, to ensure that they can actually you know, be able to pop lists. But then in that case, when these will steal pops, one change I would like for Ninja Kiwi to make to the game is so that with certain towers you can have an option of switching them on and off when it comes to attacking balloons. And switching the attack off doesn't mean that it can't buff other towers if it has means of buffing other towers. So let's say the Alchemist, for example, switches attack mode off and it won't damage a single balloon, but it can still buff towers, which I think would be strategical, because sometimes you do run into the issue where if you have a tower very early on the track, those can sometimes damage regrows, but then those regrows can multiply. And it ensures that your higher damage and higher attack speed and higher pierce towers won't be able to try and go through all of those newly formed regrows. It's just some food for thought, but I definitely think that could be viable as a change in the game. Thank you so much for watching, and that, by the way, is for all forms of strategies, not just for like these sort of strategies. I'm not making it just for me, okay? I'm just thinking out loud here. But I think the change recently that has been most controversial is the bugs button for submersion support that doesn't always appear in the game, which still needs fixing since the beginning of update 41. Isn't this game just amazing? Thank you all so much for watching, and take care of yourselves, everybody.